So people are interested in finding out, how do you use these cards, these things that we've given you. So I'm going to demonstrate in a brief sort of interaction how they might be used. And I'm going to start with the 6 pieces of the puzzle. You'll see me use some of the pack hand cards, and you'll also see me focus a little bit on the living gems, or the gems cards. So let's get started. Catherine has a challenging situation she's trying to figure out, and she's come to me. One of the people she works with, let's say Millie, is demonstrating some behaviors that she's finding to be a challenge. So let's see what happens. So Catherine, you and Millie have been struggling a little bit lately, huh?
Yeah.
So when we look at things not working, one of the things we want to look at is recognizing that the person living with dementia only has part of the puzzle in their hands, and we have the other part. They have the brain changes, and we want to understand them. We have the person, because people are people, and they're a person first and they get dementia second. And we also have the body and the brain and the whole physical self that they're living with. And sometimes people have other things happen other than just dementia. But then there are these pieces. There's us and what we're doing, and what skills we have and what skills we don't have. Where things are happening. What's the environment look like for them and for us? And thinking about issues related to time. What time of day? How much time? How are people spending time? How much wait time is there? So here are 6 pieces of the puzzles. And to talk about Millie's situation and your situation, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Let's look at the person. And on the back of the card, there's some things. One of the things we want to find out a little bit about is, what's Millie's life story? Tell me a little bit about, where did she live and who was she when she was younger?
Well, she grew up on a farm.
Okay, and now we're living in the city.
Yeah.
Was that relatively recently?
I think she came to the city, 10 or 15 years ago, but
Okay,
she lived in the farm country.
In the farm country. How old was she? How old is she now, I guess?
She's about 85.
Okay, so until she was in her 60s, she lived out in the country, and now she's finding herself in the city.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to stop there, because the behavior you talked about is she keeps trying to get outside and go for a walk.
Yeah,
And that's not safe. She's living in an apartment building, and she's creating hazards because she's unlocking doors and trying to go out, and then she gets turned around, and the police are bringing her back.
Yeah, it's not good.
So personality traits, one other thing about her. Is she more of somebody who likes to be in control and in charge, or is she somebody who just wants to be with people and get friendly and do whatever you want?
She loves being with people.
She does. So
Yeah,
she might be. Did she have people in her family before that she liked to go visit?
Oh yeah, she liked to go, and she was a big baker, and she would take treats and vegetables,
and so that's
to
how
all
she
her
felt
neighbors.
really special and important, and that was part of her life.
Yeah.
Did she do it pretty much every day?
Oh, she was always out and about. She'd
Okay.
even make a reason to go to the store to see people.
To see people. And how much are people visiting now?
Not often.
Not often. So you're pretty much it. You're there to help her.
Yeah.
And other than that, she's pretty much alone in the apartment.
Most of the time, yeah.
So we have that piece. So let's look at the second piece of the puzzle. Brain changes. And it sounds like they think she might have Alzheimer's, and she was actually worked up and diagnosed with that condition.
They said she had Alzheimer's, but that was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the ways we look at progression, we can look at it as time, how much time has she had the disease, but we're more curious about what is she still able to do and what isn't she able to do. And in our system, we use gems. And so I want you to look at these 2 gems, which tend to occur more in the middle of the disease, which is where you think she might be.
Yeah.
One is an emerald and one is an amber. And take a look at those cards. The emerald is on the go. There's still a green light on go, but they are making some mistakes.
Yeah.
And they sometimes get lost in time and place.
Sounds real familiar.
Yeah. And they have a hard time getting started or stopping sometimes,
Yeah.
but they tend to want to do stuff that makes sense, but there might be problems with it. And amber is somebody who's more, you got to use a lot of caution, because they're more sensory driven. If I like it, I want to do it, and I'll do it over and over and over, and I don't know when to stop. If I don't like it, I'm not going to let it happen at all.
Well, I'd say for the most part, she really sounds like an emerald.
More like an emerald?
But it's funny,
Okay.
at nighttime, I think she gets a little more like an amber.
More like
She
an
just
amber.
This is
Okay.
one of my problems is that she
Yeah.
doesn't want to do stuff.
She doesn't want to do things at night. Well, we're going to stay with the one situation you brought up first, which is she's going out.
Yeah.
And you don't feel that that's safe. And that's real consistent with sort of
Yeah,
an
that
Emerald
really-
situation.
Right, because that's during
Yeah.
the day, and she just
Yeah.
she gets lost.
She has trouble
and-
with that. Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's take a look at anything else that's going with her. Is she eating well? Is she drinking well? What kind of things does she tend to eat and drink? And how
Well,
much?
now she seems to it's hard to get her to eat real food.
Uh-huh.
She really likes sugary stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah,
sweet.
fast.
Yeah,
She
she
likes a
loves
quick fuel.
Yeah.
And does she have any health conditions?
She has some pretty significant arthritis problems.
Ooh, arthritis and pain.
Yeah.
Okay, and does she take things for
Yeah,
that?
she takes a little bit of stuff to
Ooh,
help
okay.
that, but
Any problems with her sugar? Her diabetes? Something like diabetes or
not
hypertension?
that I know of.
Okay. But you've noticed a switch where she's putting
Oh.
more sugary kinds of glucose in there,
But
which is quick fuel.
Yeah,
but then
she's
you
not-
run out.
She's not eating real food very
Not
often anymore.
eating good stuff, the proteins.
No.
Okay, how about how well she's drinking?
Unless you make her do it.
Okay, so she's not really that thirsty. Does she like coffee or tea or what does she like?
No, she likes her coffee.
Likes her coffee.
Guess how she likes it. Nice
Lots
and
of sugar. Okay, so and she's drinking that just first thing in the morning, or
No, she drinks it. She likes it in the morning. She likes it at lunch, after lunch. She likes a cup in the afternoon.
okay.
And she likes
and
it
is
with
it still
dinner.
full caffeine?
Yeah, that's what she likes.
Okay, all right. Well, that's sort of important to know because with her brain changes and she may have been able to do that before, but it might be causing some issues.
Oh.
So now over here with the stakeholders, you're the primary. Okay, let's look at what we might be able to do and you might be able to do. So I'm going to have you take a look at some of our hand cards.
Okay.
And I'm wondering whether we're noticing any changes in her vision, in her ability to understand and use language, in what she does and how aware of what she does she is. So let's start with vision.
Okay.
Okay. So if you were to describe what she pays attention to visually and what she doesn't notice, would you say she's got more like tunnel vision or binocular, or she doesn't always get what object she's supposed to use for different things?
That happens now
Does that happen more in the evening or in the morning?
at night.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
that's
more
when
at
she's
night.
more like an amber, where it's all about
Yeah,
sensation.
it's night when the most, other than the leaving.
So that means her vision may be more binocular. So she's either social or task. And when she's social, she's looking for where to go and who to
Yeah.
see. But she doesn't pay attention to how she got there or how to go there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when you're working with her, one
Yeah.
of the skills you might want to look at
Uh-huh.
is how are you getting connected to her? How are you making sure she gets what you're trying to do? Have you ever had the thing where she goes out and you try to catch her from behind?
Oh, yeah. Because she's so fast.
Yeah. Well, when you're behind her, can she see you?
I guess not. But she
And when you touch her,
Uh-huh.
what have you noticed her doing? Yeah. And does she try to get away even more?
Yeah, she goes like
Oh,
this.
so if you were to do that and she jerked away from you and
Mhm.
you were in a street crossing, would she
She would just,
notice the cars?
oh, God.
Oh, no.
This is what I'm afraid of.
Absolutely. And so one of the things we might think about is how do we get connected? How do we do that? And that's where that positive physical approach comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you're worried about her, you want to swing around in front of her and go, Millie, hey.
I never thought about that.
Yeah. Because if she does get outside, do you want her trying to get away from you or wanting to come back
That's
with
what
you?
she does.
Yeah, because she's social, you said, huh?
Yeah, she always has, I gotta
Yeah.
get there, I gotta get
She's
there.
got to go places.
Yeah.
So not going places with her sounds like it's causing her to go places on her own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about, is there someone else in the system or in Millie's life that's wanting you to keep her more in the apartment?
Well, her son, that's the reason she moved, is her son lives not close, but close enough that he can get to her, but he doesn't much. But he's the one telling me you got to keep her home because she's not safe outside.
Okay. So I'm wondering, when you work with him,
Mm-hmm.
could he be grieving the loss of his mom?
Oh.
These are the stages of grief and loss.
Well, he's pretty angry.
He's angry, and is he denying her what she might want?
Oh, absolutely.
And is he bargaining with you to keep her inside, even though that's really a challenge?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if we could maybe work with him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That might be important, sounds like.
Yeah, that might be helpful
And
because
then
he's tough sometimes.
You working on your skills of how to approach and engage Millie.
Mm-hmm.
So the last couple pieces is the environment. And we've already talked a little bit about what Millie likes and what she needs.
Yeah.
So friendly is important to her.
Yeah.
And finding people who'll be friendly with her.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the apartment isn't the place to look for that.
Yeah.
Familiar. Sounds like baking and doing things and then taking it somewhere might be.
Yeah, and she does like to go to church.
Ah.
And she used to be really active, but her son gets embarrassed, and
So
so
you get embarrassed with her?
no, I love her.
Okay, so maybe you're the one to go to church with her and not her son. Because you're not uncomfortable with it.
No.
And if you took something to have at social hour, maybe a coffee cake that the two of you made together,
Oh, that would be fun.
that could be a real forgiving kind of thing.
Yeah,
Cool.
that sounds nice.
So the last piece of the puzzle that we could look at is looking at time and how you're spending your time and how she's spending her time.
Mm-hmm.
And as you think about it, have you had any thoughts about what might be a good thing to change?
Well, now that we're talking, it kind of sounds like maybe with my help, when I look at this one, that if I help, maybe we could do some baking. And she likes her sweets,
So rather than you cook for her, you guys work together.
Yeah.
And that would fill up a good bit of time. And when you're two working together, she doesn't need to be in control. She just wants to be engaged.
Yeah,
And then
she's
you go
always wandering in.
give it to somebody. Then she has a gift she's given. Her name goes on the package. Does she necessarily need to eat it all then?
Oh, no, then we'd give it away.
Yeah.
Ah, so it wouldn't be in the house. That's why I haven't been doing stuff like that.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
And this card, I'm going to give it to you as you walk away, is how could you help her get started compared to how you might be? Do you want to? Or would you like to?
Or I say, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, I do it. Instead, hey, Millie, could you
help me.
Could you help me? Could we
Try this.
Yeah. Oh, Millie, would you rather do
this or that?
Good. How about Millie?
It's about time to
Good.
brush
Yeah.
your teeth.
Yeah. And Millie?
Stand up. Lean forward.
There you go. Ha, perfect. So I'm going to leave you with some of these.
Yeah.
But let me ask you,
Uh-huh.
did this help?
Oh, yeah.
Good work.
I feel like maybe we can make some little changes. I hope
Good.
it helps.
Good. Thanks for working with me,
Thanks so
Catherine.
much, Deepa.
My pleasure.